guys, good afternoon.
So we promised you a YouTube channel, and we're here to deliver.
As promised.
So the name of our channel, or the name of our show, I know a lot of people are gonna ask, is called the DMC, and the reason is because DMC stands for Deep Meaningful Conversation. So that's what we were planning to have. Initially, we did mention that we want something that's kind of different, something that tackles the topic that we're usually too afraid to talk about. So
because most of the times you get people are going through the most, but they feel like they are not in a safe space to actually talk about what they're going through. They either have a fear of being judged or a fear of people talking about them behind their backs and making mockery of their situations. So we kind of think this platform is going to help a lot of people in a way that we talk about issues, you listen if you're going through a similar thing, and then you kind of try relate and try.
Yeah, you can even contact us, and then we can talk further. If let's say we have a conversation and you have something to say and there are a few comments about it, then we can have a follow-up conversation about it and kind of interact with people based on what they need. So I think it's more about you than it is about us. We did say that we're just two girls with an opinion. We're not professionals. We're not judging anyone. This is a safe space. That's something that's very important.
You need to take things out. We're here.
We're here for you.
Contact us, email us, and then we'll just come back here and then talk about issues that we're going through. So today's topic, our very first topic, first episode, so excited.
Drum roll.
Is insecurities.
So
Friend, what do you think about insecurities?
So we all have insecurities. I think that's a given. That's something we all have insecurities, and where they come from it's different, I guess. I would say that most of my insecurities are fed by my fears. So also by my fears of past experiences. I know in romantic relationships I'm always very insecure when it comes to being cheated on because that's happened before. Hi, ex-boyfriend. You know who you are. But yes, that's happened to me before, and because when it did happen I was a little younger, I spent a bit of time thinking maybe it's something that I did, and maybe it's something that I lacked, maybe it's something that I didn't have that he felt he had to go get somewhere else. And I feel like that sucks for any teenage girl to go through, to be thinking why I was dating as a teenager. I don't think that is wrong. Please, let's not shame me. But yeah, because of those experiences and because of seeing other things, it started breeding a lot of insecurities. And when I got into my current relationship, in the beginning, I didn't want to tell him what the problem was, but I was kind of sorry about that, babe. And it's the little things, man, where I'm just like, what's happening there? Because so I think most of my insecurities romantically were fed by my fears because of my past relationships. And I think a lot of us go through that. And one thing that I experience is that it's very important to talk to your partner. Because if you don't tell them what you need, communication is key. Not just because we're communication students, but it's very important to talk to your partner, because if you don't let them know what you're going through, then they'll never know. They'll never know, right?
Somewhere in the air.
Yeah, that's why we end up looking like crazy people most of the time.
Also, I think we should link insecurities with pride. I'm saying that because most of the time it starts with pride, then brews up to insecurities. For example, I'm sorry, I'm gonna tell them about this story. I'm sorry, babe.
We still love you.
So, in my relationship, right, there was a certain issue that we fought about.
Okay.
He saw a picture of me with some guy, a very innocent picture.
Okay.
well, it was innocent with me, but unfortunately it wasn't with him. Okay, here's the thing: we're out and then we're taking pictures. It was my best friend's birthday, so we had gone out to celebrate her birthday. So this guy comes. He didn't even know that we were there. So he comes and it's like, oh, you guys are here. I'm like, yeah, it's my birthday. My best friend's birthday. There she is. So we turn out,
so
had a good time. Exactly. So it's like, okay, now we start taking pictures. Like, oh, I see you taking pictures. Can I take a picture with you? So obviously he knows me, not her. The first person he's gonna ask a picture with is you. So knowing him,
you're close, man. You know each other.
Exactly. So he comes behind me and then he takes a picture like this. So at that time, it's just all innocent.
Because also you're not even thinking of it like that. It's just a platonic relationship.
Exactly.
No bad.
It's him. So long story short, we got into a fight with my nigga, my boyfriend. So and then I kind of feel like I was overreacting with the whole situation. So it's like, okay, now you're overreacting. You're telling me want to get off, but look at this. What's this? So I'm like, holy shit. So he's holding my phone with my picture with this guy holding me from the behind. But at that
looks really bad at that moment, like at that specific.
But now the problem is I still find it all so innocent. I'm like, why are you
so
mad?
Then you brush it off.
Yeah, I'm like, why are you mad? It's just a friend. I know him. We're not dating. He's not even my type. I start mentioning
like, I don't like this. I don't like that.
I start
mentioning he ain't even cute.
Exactly. So it got so bad. Like it got so bad. We fought. It was just a mess. Then when we eventually talked about it, when we both calm, I'm like, okay, babe, tell me, why were you mad about that situation? Because I told you that guy is just a friend. There's nothing more to it, nothing more, nothing less. It's like, no, it's pride. My pride would let me see you with the guy holding you like that. I'm a guy, I have pride. Imagine I go around telling people that you're my girl. Now there's this.
So his pride is basically feeding off the insecurity.
Exactly. Because now he started being insecure. Every time I'll tell him that I'm going somewhere, he's like, who are you going there with?
Oh, honey.
What are you gonna do? When are you gonna be back? So I'm like, okay, so this thing of pride, it got to a point where he will now start being insecure. Do you understand?
Oh, no.
It was so bad. So I'm like, okay, maybe this for us to get to a point where we feel like we're insecure, someone has bruised our ego. Our pride has been.
But I mean, also if you think about it, had you known initially that this was something that he's insecure about, when he asked you, but who's this nigga? You would have been able to tell him, no, babe, I know you're not comfortable with such and such situations, but this is it. So I think also, without realizing it, you might have bruised his ego a little, and you know, that kind of probably fed into something that was already there, creating something that shouldn't have been something. We are so sorry.
Also, again, insecurities with friendships. Oh my, that's bad.
I really don't want to talk about this, but I promised you honesty. So I don't even think you know this. I am very insecure in friendships, mainly because of what has happened, and also, you know, when you lose friends and you start wondering, am I the problem? Because the common denominator is me. And I know I have the type of character that I'm a very loving person, sometimes to my own detriment, but I always feel the need to make other people comfortable. And I always feel, especially if you're my friend, I want to make sure you're okay. I want to make sure that
you basically just put other people
and I want to make sure that I'm what you need. And I started realizing that even though I did that, sometimes I still lost friends. And I lost friends for many different reasons. I ain't gonna put you out like that. But it really it put a dent on how I perceived friendships and how open I was to having friendships, until I started realizing that I was getting to a point where if someone was my friend, I was half denying that they were my friend, or being mean without realizing it, or if I feel like I'm getting too close to them, half cutting them off because of what had happened before, and because I was like, obviously the problem is me, or the problem might be me, and I'm not willing to go through that again. Friends break hearts. Don't
They
let
do.
anyone tell you any
They
different. Those
do.
people know you
They do.
from, they know your soul, they know your heart. So when someone like that breaks your heart, they break it for real. And because of,
I feel like with boyfriends, it's almost expected that someone's gonna come your way and then he's gonna break your heart. But with friends, you expect to have your friend forever.
I don't think anyone ever gets into a friendship and be like, I'm gonna give this 2 months or 3 months.
You expect to have them forever.
You expect them to be there forever, especially when you know you have someone you call your best friend, and when they break your heart, it shatters. And because of that, I had to go through a time where, and funny enough, my boyfriend made me realize this, where he was like, you need to understand firstly that you don't have to have a lot of friends. Quality is more important than quantity.
2 friends, enough.
More than enough.
More than enough.
And he made me realize that the friends that you lost were probably, not that they weren't good for you, but they probably had served their purpose in your life, and you have to realize you're not a bad person. So I had to go through like a bit of self-introspection, whatnot, self-healing type situation, where I learned who I am, and I accepted my truth, that I'm a loving person, I'm a kind person, I have a beautiful heart towards people, I do have my flaws and I do have my faults, but that doesn't warrant losing a friend. So it's not my fault. And I think that's a lot of things that that's something that a lot of us have to go through when it comes to insecurities of any kind, insecurities in relationships, in friendships, in families, ships,
because there's a whole lot of
so wherever your insecurities lie, whether it's with a sibling, whether it's with someone you love romantically, whether it's with a friend, you need to first understand that insecurities are inbred. So it's something that you feel from the inside. And the next person, the other thing that you once said to me was that the problem or the reason we get so insecure most of the time is because we're so busy making ourselves the center of people's universes.
All the time.
We
think for a situation to be there, I should be in it. It should be me that creates the situation, whereas it's this exact opposite thing. Also, again, my thing about insecurities is people who are most of the time insecure, be it in relationships, friendships, or in family, they somehow feel entitled. Entitlement. I'll tell you why. Because a while back, I had a friend. I had a friend.
You have a friend?
Yeah. These 2 friends of mine, I started being friends with the other for the second one. So they were at my graduation, right? So I overhear them. They're fighting. They were a little bit tipsy. They're fighting. It's like, no, I've known her before, so she's my best friend.
So now they're taking claim on who you belong to more.
Exactly. So but the corner, I'm like, okay, what's happening here? Why are they feeling so much entitlement over me?
And at that time, you're probably just like, I love you guys differently. That's another thing that you. My
thing is, friend A, the thing that makes her my best friend is different from what makes friend be my best friend. Because I feel like they're both my best friends. It's just that what the role that they play in my life,
it's very different.
It's very different. So I'm like, okay, so for people to start being, because insecurities start where you have fear of losing something. They had a fear of losing me as a best friend because now this one claims that they've been with me for the longest time.
And sometimes time really doesn't matter.
It's not supposed to be a measurement tool. I could meet you today and then just hit it off. I could meet her 5 months back. I was like,
I remember. Don't kill me, people. I had in my life 2 people that I considered my best friends, and I'm gonna speak my truth. I lost them as my best friends, and you pretend and you still say no, they're still my friend and whatnot, but you know when it's gone. You know when the friendship has ended. You know when,
and you can almost feel it.
Yeah, and it hurts.
Like you push, but it's just
and I remember it happened a long time ago. Losing both friends as best friends, And I remember for a while I stopped believing in best friends because I was like, what's the damn use? You know? And it was different reasons why I lost both my best friends. But one of the reasons for one of the friends is something that's kind of similar to yours, because my best friend at the time assumed I was living a life without her, and I assumed she was living a life without me. And the reason I saw this as, she doesn't think I'm good enough for her anymore.
Oh.
And she found someone else who's better, and now she's replaced me, and she doesn't think I'm good enough. I remember saying this over and over to myself.
Those were your...
Yeah, my thoughts were around that sense. So even if we would spend time together, I'd feel like...
You still felt like you were not good enough for her.
It's changed, and it's different, and it hurt. And I remember I cried over it for a very long time. I don't even want to say for months. I cried over it for years because it was one of those, I think I'm fine. And then I'd see her again, or we'd spend whatever time we spent together, and it would make me so sad because it was one of those, she was my everything.
Now she's gonna do me like this?
Yeah, and little did I know when we did end up having the conversation is that she felt the same way. Is that she felt I had moved on and had better friends, and so she was like, you know what, I'm gonna start my life and be fine.
And then now that is when we talk about communicating your insecurities, because had you communicated, things would turn out differently.
And also I would say, I'm a girl. To my side, there was a bit of pride in it. When it started happening, I was too proud to go to someone that I called my best friend and tell her that I'm not happy because of this and this and this. One reason being, I was like, I want to spend time with her, but she doesn't want to spend time with me. Why should I always be the one to tell her? She doesn't love me anymore.
Same thing with relationships where people were like, no, he hasn't texted me in 5 days. I'm not going to text him.
If he hasn't texted you in 5
text
days,
him to find out what's happening.
Text him and ask him. And ask him, do you still want this? Because for my sanity, and remember, you are entitled to feel how. Do not ever let anyone make you feel guilty for the way you feel. There's nothing wrong with feeling anything, as long as, I don't want to say if you're justified. I just read a quote actually like a few minutes ago. If someone tells them that you hurt them, you don't get the right to decide you didn't. You need to take responsibility
and
of
say,
the fact that, I probably hurt this person.
Listen, what do you think I did that hurt you so much? What do you think I can do to rectify this situation? Also, friend, I wanna know, because you know me, I'm crazy girl. So how do I communicate my insecurities without hurting somebody else's feelings or without offending them?
I think the most important thing that you have to do firstly is you need to own your truth. This is something that is very important, is that my insecurity is not your flaw. That's something that I feel like in most of my situations, had I been able to accept that, had I been able to say that my insecurity is not your flaw, but I need you to know this. And I need you to learn this about me if I want our relationship to be functional, if I want our relationship to be successful. My fear that you think I'm not good enough is not because you're treating me like that. But I need you to be aware in situations where you might make me feel like that, or subconsciously make me. I'm the type of person, when I feel hurt, I pull back. I used to just pull back until I realized the error of my ways. I used to pull back and just keep to myself and die in silence, and if it's my pain, it's my pain. I'll deal with it. I'll cry my tears. I'll get over it. The problem with that is that you leave the other person thinking that they did something wrong, when initially the problem might be what's within. And no one can help you with what's within if you don't let them in. So that's something that's very important as well, is that if you have an insecurity, if you have a fear, and and it's someone who is in any kind of relationship with you, you need to communicate it with them. You need to let them know that
you are insecure or something.
Yeah, because that you hurt me, or that, listen, I have this fear or I have this insecurity. I don't feel good about this and this and this. It's not to stop the other person from living their life.
Because I was gonna ask you about that. How do I then say in my relationship, I'm insecure that every time my nigga goes out, he's going to be hitting on girls? How do I then deal with my insecurities without stopping him from going out, without being a control freak? Because now I feel like, hey, every time he's out, he's cheating. Now it's gonna get to that point where I'm like, you're not gonna go out without me. You're gonna go to gym, like the girl I was telling you about. He goes to gym with with her boyfriend, and then she watches him. She
watches her boyfriend.
So how do we not get to that point where I feel like I'm literally just controlling him?
I think when your insecurities start leading you to being possessive and being controlling, you need to start self-evaluating. If you think it is okay to own a person just because of your insecurities, that is something that you need to seriously sit down and be like, okay, wait a bit. I think personally, this is my take on it, is that if you deal with insecurity, or you openly communicate your insecurity with your partner, you communicate it because you're willing to deal with it together. So you are willing to say, Vicky, I have this insecurity that I'm not a good enough friend for you, and that you don't love me as much as you love other friends. And when you do this and this and this, it makes me feel like what I fear, or it makes my insecurity come to life. Then you know that I'm still going to go out with other friends, I'm still going to have dinner with other friends, but I need her to know that I love her and it's not about her. And it's as simple as telling me, Bobo, I have other friends, and not because you're not a good enough friend, but because for the sanity of our relationship, I need other friends.
Also, I mean, friendships come with different attributes.
Yeah, my world can't end and begin with you. You are not my alpha and omega.
Nope.
And you, obviously, when you talk to someone about their insecurities, you need to be sensitive about them, but you need to find a common ground where you guys can meet and communicate about it, and also make sure that you're not mad. Don't tell people your insecurities when you're mad at them, because they come out wrong, and then they come out as you being possessive or crazy or needy or all of those things. But you are justified to communicate.
And insecurities in families are just as bad and as real.
Yeah. And you see, with families, I think it's I don't want to say worse, but kind of worse, because
it's worse, bro.
Yeah, they're worse because they're instilled in you from when you're a child.
Thank you. Also, with family, is like with friends, if you're insecure about something, or about specifically your mom, you expect your mom to be somebody who's always gonna be here. So now when they start acting some type of way, like, but I expect you to be here.
So I guess it's also,
how are you gonna do me dirty like this?
That expectation, that what's the word I'm looking for?
Also, again, I feel like it goes again with fear.
It does. And having a sense of possessiveness and own it. Why do you think your mother should be what you want her to be?
I have this situation.
That's the word I was looking for. Entitlement.
I have a cousin. I have a lot of cousins, by the way. So I'm not talking about you, cousin. I'm talking about my other cousin.
So everyone that's Vicky's cousin is probably gonna be thinking, is it me?
But I think she knows herself, because we always have this kind of situation. I mean, conversations every time we meet. She loves me. I love her a lot. We love each other way too much. But sometimes I feel like she wants me to love her more. She wants me to express how I feel about her more, and she takes a back seat.
Yeah.
So I'm always like, why do I always have to prove that I love you, but you never show me that you? Because sometimes I'm like, okay, if I don't talk to you on WhatsApp, you're not gonna talk to me. We could spend months and months without talking, and you tell me that you love me. How is it that for love? And then I confronted her. I'm like, dude, I don't like this thing happening, because every time I talk to you, it's either you busy, you get back to me, or you never do, or you never even start talking to me. But you expect me to be, you know. It's like, no, it's just that we deal with these things differently. So I'm like, okay, fine, tell me, how would you not feel if I was doing exactly what you do right now? So in my mind, I had a fear. I love that. Imagine I love this person. Now I have a fear of losing them because they're not communicating their love enough to me to realize that
you can lose family too.
Exactly. I'm at a corner. I'm at the corner that, you know what, this is gonna get out of hand, and the next time I'm gonna know it, she's not in my life. I've lost her, and this is the only person that I'm like, I can really share everything with. We're really close. So I'm like, okay, if she's acting like this, am I losing her?
I think in that case, what needs to happen is this is something that I actually forced my boyfriend to self-evaluate and realize you need to learn someone else's love language. The way I receive love is not the same way that he receives love. It's not the same way that you receive love. It's not the same way that your cousin receives love. So you might, from what I'm hearing, is that your cousin needs words of affirmation. She's like me. She needs
not even words. I need her to show me. If she can't say it, show me.
Yeah, okay. No, with her, it looks like she needs the words. Because she needs you to constantly tell her. Yeah, she needs.
Whereas with me, it's more action than words.
With you, kind of what's it called? With you, it's called acts of service. You need her to show you that she loves you. You need her to. You receive love by action.
And I need her to be there.
You need her to be there, to be present. So, for example, with me, I receive love in two different ways: through physical touch and through words of affirmation. So when I'm with my mom. And I'm not even kidding, I'm always close to her, and she's always stroking my hair or hugging me because I need that from her. It calms me down. It makes me feel loved. Sometimes I can sit with my mom and she doesn't have to say anything to me for hours, but if she's holding me, I know I'm loved. That's the way I receive love from my mom. That's why I go home a lot, because I need to go get me some love.
So now tell me, is it when she stopped doing all that you feel like, okay, what's wrong? You start feeling insecure about the whole relationship.
Yeah, when my mom stops loving me or touching. Because here's my thing, I receive love in two different ways, but I also know that my mom is able to communicate love to me through physical touch. My mom and I are very close. She does talk to me a lot, but she rarely tells me how much she loves me. That's something that I usually need from my boyfriend, and he's kind of gotten good at it, because I told him that, listen babe, this is the way I receive love, and you need to give me this, because otherwise I feel insecure, I feel unloved, I feel this and I feel that. He has made the effort that even if it's random, sometimes he lets me know, babe, I still love you, you're loved, you're beautiful, I appreciate you, this and this and that. Whereas he receives loves I need to stop saying that. He receives love through acts of service. So for him, I can tell him till I'm blue in the face that I love him. But if I don't show him, he doesn't feel it.
Let me just touch a bit on that. That is when, even when your boyfriend last told you he loved you in the morning, and then you go through the day and you know it. Even if he tells you again tomorrow, you know it. That is a level of trust, if I may say. I know he's busy. He hasn't told me that he loves me. I know that he loves me. Whereas if he's not going about it the way you want him to, that's when you start being insecure. Now, he hasn't told me that he loves me.
It's more the way you need it. That's what I think a lot of people need to be honest about. Don't be ashamed about what you need. I know people will call you needy. I know people will call you difficult. I know people will call you hard to love, but that is fine. If you are worth it to someone, they will make the effort. If I receive love through words of affirmation and physical touch, and my boyfriend doesn't, I am going to give him love the way that I know how to give him love, which is telling him every single 5 seconds that I love you, boo. And to him, that's not how he receives love. He appreciates it, but it gets a little too much. And I'm one of those poetic, sentimental, will write you a long message about the beauty of your heart and the light that I find in your eyes. Sometimes he finds it a little.
Fred is such a lover.
I am, guys. I love to love. I don't even
I
want
thought
to.
I was until I met you. I'm like, girl, you there?
There's
I'm
so
here.
much love in my heart. I'm one of those people that will write you a letter. A love letter. My boyfriend knows this because he's gotten a few of those. I will write you a letter and I will dedicate a poem to you and I will pour my heart out to you. But if that's not how you receive love, then unfortunately to you it's just cute words. And I don't mean it in a cute way, I mean it in a passionate way. So if Vicky and I, because I can already tell that she needs acts of service. If Vicky says to me, and I'm just like,
and unfortunately, now.
And I'm just like, you deserve a Bernini. And if you are ever thirsty, I deserve. Whereas I could just go twag. Buying her that Bernini makes her feel loved more than me telling her that she deserves it.
So can you just agree that this whole situation is about how we handle people, how we handle situation, how we deal with everything? Because I mean, like we said, communication is key. The way you're going to receive something is not the same way that I'm going to receive it. If you feel like you're insecure about something, talk to your nigga, talk to your friend, talk to your mom, talk to whoever.
Talk to everyone.
Just talk to everyone. Like, well, I don't like it when you do 1, 2, and 2. What makes you do 1, 2, and 2? And then he'll come back. I do 1, 2, and 2 because of 1, 2, and 2. Now reach and understanding.
I'm so proud of you for not saying drr. I'm so proud. She never finishes her sentences, and everything always ends with drr. So I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of myself too. So yeah, I'm going to wrap up this on this note. Stop believing that your world revolves around other people or other people's worlds revolve around you. Stop thinking that. Stop assuming that people are just gonna think you're not okay about some things. Communicate your feelings. Tell people when you're not okay. Lastly, from my side, stop thinking that you're more important than other people. Stop it. Just stop, guys. Stop. You're never important more than the next person. You are equally important.
I had a status a few days ago on WhatsApp that said, I am so sorry that you think you are better than the next person. That is a lot of nonsense for one person to carry. It's probably heavy on your heart.
Exactly. Like, how do you go about thinking that you're more important than the next person?
My closing note is own your truth. Live by your truth and communicate your truth. No one is going to know how you feel if you don't tell them. No one can be on the inside of you unless you let them in. So speak your truth, but also be very mindful of the fact that as much as you have your truth, the next person has their truth. I cannot force my reality onto Vicky. I can only hope that we can communicate our realities together and understand one another. Come to a point where we don't clash, but instead we love.
Because we're all about love, baby.
And I love to love.
Peace, harmony. We made a very big mistake. We did not introduce ourselves properly when we started this.
Okay, guys. So
we are so sorry.
Sorry for that. But you can call me Bobo. Yeah.
Nike Nansita Victorian Jam. But all my friends call me Vicky, and I prefer Vicky because I always feel so offended when people get my name wrong.
Yeah,
I want you to call me by my real name when you know that you can say it right. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you won't forget to subscribe. Until we meet again next Saturday, and unfortunately we won't disclose our next topic because we want it to be a surprise.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys, thank you. So
you actually watch the show. Or the conversation.
Or the
DMC.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.